The music is back. SlimmDa KID is back. Round 2 Wrestling is back. Thank you for tuning into this brand new podcast here on the 4th of June, 2024. As promised, we have a brand new Round 2 Wrestling for all you wrestling fans here in June. After a small hiatus, I am back, and brand new episodes with new information are just a few minutes away for your listening pleasure. For those first-time listeners, Round 2 Wrestling is a new style broadcast. We have 4 rounds broken down into different segments for you, the fan, to enjoy. Round 1 is the pro wrestling rumor mill. This could be lies, this could be BS, it could be gossip. It's up to you to decide what you'd like to believe. Round 2, pro wrestling news. This is confirmed actual factual news from multiple news outlets and accredited sports writers. Round 3, title matches and their exclusive results. I, SlimmDa KID, have done the homework for you and have every title match and its result available for you to hear in Round 3. Conclude this brand new Round 2 Wrestling with Round 4, Did You Know Pro Wrestling Facts. However, let's put our ear to the scanner and take a listen to the gossip floating around in the world. This is Round 1, the Pro Wrestling Rumor Mill. According to the Calgary Herald, the winners of the 2024 Owen Hart Cup tournament will be crowned on July 10th in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, with Martha Hart once again on hand at the AEW event. MJF's deal with AEW is, quote, long-term and a multi-million-dollar per year contract per Fightful Select. PW Insider notes there is universal sadness within AEW over Adam Copeland's injury, as he has become a great mentor and sounding board for talents during his time within the promotion. AEW sources told Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer that Warner Bros. Discovery's first offer on a media rights renewal was not disappointing to Tony Khan. The Observer's post also includes this, quote, it was pointed out by some online that Baloney is credited with announcing Tony Khan was upset at the Warner Bros. Offer initially, is longtime friends with WWE CEO Nick Khan, leading some to believe it was a planted piece by WWE trying to discredit AEW. AEW's Eddie Kingston is scheduled for surgery to repair his torn ACL and meniscus. He is scheduled for Monday, July 8th, per PW Insider. That will also allow time for the broken leg he suffered in the same New Japan match to heal. WrestleVolts was told that the partnership between WWE and TNA has been, quote, months in the making. Furthermore, there are tentative plans for additional superstars to make crossover appearances in due time. AEW's negotiations with Warner Bros. Discovery included streaming rights, but the current talks are, quote, said to not be serious regarding a purchase of the pay-per-view rights AEW currently owns. That draws to a conclusion Round 1 in the Pro Wrestling Rumor Mill. Not a lot of gossip to talk about this week, so let's jump right over to something that's a little bit more real. This is Round 2 Pro Wrestling News. Former women's world champion becomes hottest free agent in 2024.
Oh my God!
It was announced a few days ago that WWE had declined to renew the contract of a former world champion. The wrestler in question is none other than Becky Lynch. The news sent shockwaves across the wrestling spectrum. Lynch has been a selling piece and focal point for WWE's women's division for years. While WWE remains in the running to re-sign Lynch, other promotions can now pursue the former champion as well. Where she will end up has yet to be seen. Former NCAA national champion and Olympic gold medalist signs football contract with NFL's Buffalo Bills.
Oh my God!
After his professional wrestling pursuit resulted in him being released from WWE earlier this year, Gable Stevenson is now headed down a different athletic avenue, specifically to the National Football League. As reported by Adam Schefter of ESPN, Stevenson has inked a standard 3-year rookie contract with the Buffalo Bills, with whom he's expected to play on the defensive line, despite having no prior experience in the NFL or football in general. Stevenson signed with WWE in 2021 following a lot of hype and build-up to his debut. His time in WWE was nothing short of disappointing. Update on WWE and Brock Lesnar.
That's fucking stupid.
As reported by Andrew Ravens of WrestlingNews.com, WWE has been distancing itself from Lesnar due to the sex trafficking lawsuit that was filed against McMahon and WWE, with a former WWE/UFC heavyweight champion being named in the filing. Lesnar was that champion. Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer went on to say, quote, regarding any rumors of Lesnar returning, he has to be cleared by WWE legal. Remember, WWE is still a defendant in the Janelle Grant lawsuit, and that hasn't happened yet, end quote. Until Lesnar is cleared by WWE's legal team, he won't be on WWE TV for the foreseeable future. Injury update on former AEW TNT champion.
Oh my God!
Adam Copeland defended his AEW TNT title against Malachi Black at AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view, successfully defeating the leader of the House of Black. However, during the match, Copeland would land awkwardly after diving off the top of the cage onto Black. Copeland would have to be helped to the back by Brood member Gangrel after the match. Copeland took to social media to announce he has a fractured tibia and will require surgery. No time frame was given on a potential return for the rated R superstar. Pro wrestling expands into Africa, recognized as an official sport in an African nation.
Oh my God!
Uganda and its first pro wrestling promotion, Soft Ground Wrestling, made an announcement on X, formerly known as Twitter. Quote, yesterday, Soft Ground Wrestling finalized plans of officially launching pro wrestling in the country. As of today, we have been duly accepted to hold any show from any national stadium we choose. Uganda finally welcomes professional wrestling as a sport. More and more support and guidance is still needed. You can check out Soft Ground Wrestling on YouTube for yourself and see the newest promotion in Uganda, an African nation. Pro Wrestling Promotions partnership with streaming service coming to an end will air pay-per-views on YouTube.
You what?
MLW, or Major League Wrestling, announced during their Battle Riot 6 event this past weekend that moving from MLW and Triller TV will no longer be partners in the streaming service, particularly MLW pay-per-views. Instead, MLW has announced that all MLW pay-per-views for 2024 will be available on YouTube through a subscription service, costing approximately $7.99 a month. That draws to a conclusion round 2 and pro wrestling news. Be sure to listen to this podcast again in case you missed any of those major news announcements and round 2 wrestling. Moving on to round 3, this is title matches. However, warning, this next segment may contain spoilers for your favorite promotions and pay-per-views, including results from the MLW Battle Riot 6 pay-per-view, AEW, Ring of Honor, WWE, NXT, TNA, NWA, MLW, GCW, DEFY, Progress, AAA, CMLL, New Japan, All Japan, STARDOM, Pro Wrestling Noah, RevPro, Combat 1, etc., etc. Alright, MLW Tag Team Champions Cozy Max defeated Los Depredadores to retain the MLW Tag Team titles. CMLL National Heavyweight Champion Star Black defeated Stuka Jr. to retain the CMLL National Heavyweight Championship. AEW International Champion Will Ospreay defeated Kyle O'Reilly to retain the AEW International Championship. CMLL World Microstrellas Champion Micro Gamelo Diablo I defeated Shamel to retain the CMLL World Microstrellas Championship. NWA World TV Champion Max the Impaler defeated Jake Dumas to retain the NWA World TV title. MLW World Featherweight Champion Janai Kai defeated Delmi Exo to retain the MLW World Featherweight Championship. MLW World Heavyweight Champion Satoshi Kojima defeated Tom Lawler to retain the MLW World Heavyweight Championship. NWA World Heavyweight Champion EC3 defeated Ryuki Honda to retain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Joey Janela defeated John Wayne Murdoch, Casey Kate, One Called Manders, Microman, Shane Mercer, Charles Mason, Jordan Oliver, Nick Gage, and Broski Jimmy in a GCW World Championship Gauntlet of Survival match to become the new GCW World Champion. Mance Warner defeated GCW World Champion Joey Janela to become the new GCW World Champion. Artist of Stardom Champions EXV defeated Oedo Tai to retain the Artist of Stardom Championships. RevPro Undisputed British Women's Champion Danny Luna defeated Riho to retain the RevPro Undisputed British Women's Championship. MLW National Openweight Champion Bad Dude Tito defeated Jake Christ to retain the MLW National Openweight Championship. MLW Middleweight Champion Mystico defeated Star Jr. to retain the MLW Middleweight Championship. Combat 1 Wrestling One World Champion Matt Riddle defeated Simon Gotch to retain the Combat 1 One World Wrestling Championship. That draws to a conclusion round 3 in title matches. If you missed your favorite promotion or your favorite champion and want to know if they retained or if a new champion was crowned, be sure to listen to round 3 again. We are at the end of this brand new podcast, and we are going to conclude it with round 4, Did You Know? Did you know are little bits of information and facts about the wrestling world you may or may not have known about. You gotta love the bell. Did you know the definition of going Broadway in professional wrestling began in the early 1900s? Most wrestlers were booked out of New York City. To communicate with promoters in other cities, telegraphs were used to send over finishes to matches. To prevent anyone from reading the results of matches yet to happen, they used code words. Broadway meant that the promoter wanted the match to go to the time limit. Cadillac referred to the winner of the bout. Did you know WWE referee John Cone trained with Harley Race at his school in Missouri? Race told him he was too small to become a pro wrestler and suggested becoming a referee instead. It was Harley who recommended John Cone to John Laurinaitis, and he was signed to a WWE deal in 2006. Incidentally, Cone's son Nicholas became the youngest ever title holder in WWE history at age 10 when he teamed with Braun Strowman to defeat The Bar at WrestleMania 34. And did you know Billy Gunn began his pro career in 1989? He wrestled for the NWA WCW as enhancement talent under the name Kip Montana and wrestled Sting. That draws to a conclusion. Round 2 Wrestling. I am your host with the most wrestling information, SlimmDa KID. Tune in next week for another brand new podcast.